Welcome to the official Personality Guru. The ISTJ personality is all about fulfilling their honorable duties. The ISTJ is a very hardworking and dedicated type. They are very responsible and are one of the backbones of many societies. They strive to do their best and uphold traditions and beliefs that have gotten their families and communities through many generations. Today, we are going to take a look at how ISTJ personality and Enneagram Type 9. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the official Personality Guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. The ISTJ can be a bit of a traditionalist, which makes them quite stubborn and resistant to change. This can be a problem if they are not able to adapt to the changing world around them. However, the ISTJ is smart enough to grasp how things are moving and will likely be intelligent enough to survive whatever setbacks or changes they experience. They can be a bit understated in their appearance, but they tend to be constantly providing for their families. They can get the tedious work done that doesn't get enough praise, and they are usually willing to do it without any recognition. However, that doesn't mean they shouldn't be taken for granted. No, ISTJ would be sorely missed if they weren't around making sure everything is working like a well-oiled machine. The ISTJ has a quiet demeanor and earns respect from others by showing up every day. They are big on integrity and believe doing the right thing in the right way is the noble thing to do, even if it doesn't get the fanfare and recognition it deserves. The ISTJ may need to recognize that others are not as reliable and steadfast as them, and allow some flexibility and compassion to others that can't reach or attain their high standards. The Enneagram Type 9 is all about achieving inner peace. The Enneagram Type 9 is all about figuring out ways to live in harmony in their environment. This can lead them to being very creative and understanding of others. They can be very empathetic and prefer to compromise instead of imposing demands on others. However, this can be problematic if they sacrifice too much of themselves. The Enneagram 9 is at their best when they are being instinctual and know how to work with themselves and their environments. When they become detached from this spiritual and instinctual center, they can become too uptight and lose any momentum they have gained. The 9 is at the top of the Enneagram and therefore shares many of the traits of all the other types. The 9 must learn to assert themselves and their visions if they want to understand themselves better. It is much easier to attach to someone more assertive than them instead of understanding how they can strike out on their own. They would be their strongest if they approached a problem head-on, instead of finding a way to tiptoe around it. The 9 is great at understanding others and creating harmony. They just need to learn that it is okay for them to apply themselves and go against the grain sometimes, especially if they feel very cold to do so. ISTJs are realists who perceive things and people clearly, without being overly optimistic, and at their best, they are practical skeptics who are comfortable holding and sharing unorthodox, unpopular views. ISTJs may be overly skeptical and suspicious, and they may have difficulty trusting others. At their worst, they can struggle to make new friends and socialize, and have a hard time showing affection and admiration for others. Type 9s often respect others, conform to expectations, and ask for guidance. At their best, they are loyal and reliable, and encourage others to guide and help. Type 9s may be overly clingy, gullible, and have difficulty expressing anger, even when appropriate. At their worst, they will try to please others too much, put other needs ahead of their own, and allow others to take advantage of them. As an ISTJ, one notable difference between you and most Type 9s is in your interpersonal warmth. You are likely on the colder, more combative side of the spectrum. Compared to you and other ISTJs, Type 9s can sometimes feel overly focused on feelings and intentions, rather than the facts of the matter at hand. However, you and most 9s both tend to be on the more reserved and passive side in social situations. On one hand, this is a benefit of both of you to tend to be reliable partners, ready and willing to help each other when needed. On the other hand, your mutual passivity can stall decisions and action, especially if both of you are waiting for the other to take the lead. Most ISTJs and Type 9s overlap heavily in their emotional style. Most ISTJs and Type 9s have a tendency to be quiet and inhibited compared to most people. They can easily drift into gloom and melancholy. They see the glass as half empty and have a more skeptical outlook and a hesitant approach to life. For better or worse, ISTJs and Type 9s tend to notice the negatives in most situations. In stressful times, they're more likely to withdraw quietly and retreat inward. rather than share their frustration with others. Like many ISTJs, you and most Type 9s tend to be on the more reserved and quiet side. You both prefer to sit back and observe, and the two of you are usually perfect, happy with lower levels of excitement and stimulation. You understand each other's needs for personal space and solitude, and you are both content to leave each other to do their own thing. Likewise, ISTJs and Type 9s often default to the negative side of the emotional spectrum. While you may not always express them, you are both likely to experience negative emotions like sadness, worry, frustration, and impatience. It's rare to find ISTJs or Type 9s in a bubbly, cheerful mood. Like most people, they have moments of joy and satisfaction, but this dissipate quickly. They often point out the negatives in most situations and have a more pessimistic outlook. Most ISTJs and Type 9s overlap heavily in their intellectual style. ISTJs and Type 9s are practical realists. They focus on building practical skills and essential knowledge and are less likely to spend time learning for learning's sake. In addition, they usually value conventional, tangible accomplishments over artistic expression and rarely feel compelled to develop a new creative outlet. As an ISTJ, you and most Type 9s are down-to-earth, straightforward thinkers. You'd both prefer to stick to the essentials and focus on practical issues, and you try to avoid overcomplicating matters. When you and your Type 9 counterpart are together, your conversations are more likely to revolve around concrete details, facts, and conventional topics, rather than theoretical or philosophical ones. Likewise, ISTJs and Type 9 share an appreciation for practical, tangible accomplishments over artistic expression. ISTJs and Type 9s are both likely to embrace conventional ways of thinking, and both types are more skeptical of eccentric or unusual approach to solving problems. ISTJs are usually systematic and highly organized. They like setting big, long-term goals and then creating detailed plans to accomplish them. ISTJs are generally good at ignoring distractions and making steady progress through consistent routines and habits. Type 9s thrive in unstructured environments with fewer constraints and more room for improvisation and serendipity. They generally focus on enjoying the present rather than preparing for the future. Type 9s highly value spontaneity and the flexibility to change their mind, and they resist setting hard deadlines or rigid expectations. How about you as an ISTJ personality and Enneagram Type 9? What are the information about you that you would like to share, aside of course from what we have mentioned? Be sure to watch until the end and share your experience for a chance to have your comment pinned. As with most ISTJs, you and many Type 9s can clash over your need to set goals and use time efficiently. While you have an easier time getting down to work and staying focused, your Type 9 counterpart may be more easily distracted and unpredictable. Working consistently with a narrow focus often comes naturally to many ISTJs like you, but you may find that Type 9s benefit from additional structure to keep them on track. While you enjoy planning and tend to mind the future, your Type 9 counterpart helps you enjoy the present, injecting some much-needed spontaneity into your schedule. Before we continue, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the official Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. A second difference between ISTJs and Type 9s is in their relative need for order, structure, and regularity. While you and most ISTJs thrive on well-defined systems and consistent organization, your Type 9 counterpart often feels overly constrained and bogged down by too much structure. They're more comfortable with chaos and are happy to take life as it comes, whereas you try to create order, routine, and predictability. Your difference in tidiness, punctuality, and compliance with social expectations may occasionally create conflict too.